Hi everyone, how's it going? Jim here from Mystery and Mayhem. I've been a little under the weather for a couple of weeks, but I think I'm finally having a turnaround, feeling a lot better, and this beautiful weather doesn't hurt either. It's been like spring-like weather for the last couple of days. People running around in their shorts and their tank tops, and just acting like it's springtime already, which, I think not quite spring yet. I think it's a little too soon for that kind of thing. I mean, March is supposed to come in like a lion, so I think we might be due for some winter weather. So, but in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy the weather that we do have. Today, I wanted to do a review of a book that I read. The last book I read, I ordered it off of Amazon, and it was written by a booktuber, Gareth Howells, who is host of the YouTube channel Books, Songs, and Other Magic. And the book is The Brown Yelp Gang. And there's Gareth on the back cover there. He's a musician, in case you didn't gather by that picture. And this is about an intergalactic rock band, and it's just chock full of music kind of stuff, live band stuff that little Easter eggs that you might appreciate if you are into music. I really enjoyed this book. It was, I guess you could categorize it as a humorous science fiction book, novel, although I hate to categorize anything. I mean, a good book is just a good book no matter what genre it's in, and as I said, I really enjoyed this. It had a good story, great characters. I mean, the story basically deals with the band's manager getting into debt for 40,000 credits with a gangster. He wants to get that money from them. So basically the beginning of the book starts out with them trying to come up with ideas to make that money back, but then they get involved with another gangster, a rival gangster of the first one, and they want the rock band to investigate the first gangster because he feels that he's up to something. They just can't stay out of trouble, these characters, and they're very, very well drawn, very humorous characters. I mean, some laugh out loud moments in this book, which made it very enjoyable to read. Now the cover. Here you have some of the main characters, and this artwork reminds me of, if you guys have been reading comic books for any amount of time, you might recognize the name Basil Wolverton, and that's very much in his style, which I love. Now this character here is the lead guitarist, and his name is Lazy Riff, and that's Deet. He's a drummer, and he's basically a symbiotic twin, and he drums on his chest. Very harmonious, apparently. This is Trent, three-headed character from Kelpian. I think he's Kelpian, and he's, got three heads there. He's the lead singer. These two are Plaque and DK, and their instruments are their actual snouts. And there's other members of the band. Area, who I loved as a character. I thought she was just awesome. She's actually married to Riff, and she almost kind of becomes the main character in this book to me. I mean, she took initiative. She kicked ass out of it really in this, and I'd like to see more of her. And I know Gareth said that he is going to do a sequel to this book, and I hope he does, and I hope he just revisits all these characters. I mean, it's full of characters, friends and enemies they meet along the way, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. Colorful. And, it was a quick read. I mean, honestly, it looks like a big book, but the margins are pretty big. And, it's not justified on the right there. So each page reads very, very, very quickly, and it was worth it. It was worth the money, and I think it's just amazing that Gareth, this is his second novel, by the way, and he's written books of poetry. And these characters appeared in a short story collection called 10 Tales of Transformation before this novel. So this is their second appearance, and this is his second novel. His first novel was, I think, called, forgive me, I didn't write it down, Beyond the Ice Barriers, I think. I'll have to look it up, and I'll post it on the bottom. But yeah, it was really, really worth the read. And as I said, the only criticism I would have liked to have seen this artwork bigger, incorporating the whole cover. Yeah, because the artwork is just awesome, and actually the artist is, sorry, I didn't write his name down. It should be listed here. The front illustration is by Hunt Emerson, and like I said, very reminiscent of the artist Basil Wolverton, who just did all kinds of weird creatures and drawings, and that's what that reminded me of. So yeah, I'll post Gareth's link below, and maybe a link to the Amazon site where you can buy the book. I think it's really worth it. I think you guys would probably enjoy it a lot. I also wanted to make an announcement. Gareth, in his one video, when he was talking about his books, he announced that his story had been accepted for Criminali's Garbogast anthology that's coming out this next August. Criminali, and Troy Tradup got together, and they decided to publish an anthology of trashy fiction. So Gareth's story was accepted, and I'm happy to say that my story, called The Decaying Century, was also accepted for the anthology. And I'm very happy about that, and I'm very thankful to both Troy and Ollie for the opportunity. I mean, I've written, since I was a kid, and I've submitted a few things, but I've never really had anything accepted or published because it was never anything I pursued too hotly, But I just think it's amazing that it was accepted, and I'm excited to see the finished book. I'm going to try to do some artwork for it for the cover, and that's my next project, and I think that's due in May. Yeah, and I got a few things I'll show you that I picked up. I went to the comic shop yesterday. I had a few things set aside for me. Now, I've noticed a few people who've done some reviews of this trade paperback. This is the first 4 issues and the free comic book day issue of the new Titan Comics Conan the Barbarian. Now, this was nothing disappointing about this whatsoever, from the artwork to the writing. I mean, Robert De La Torre, I usually don't like people who clone other people's styles, but Robert De La Torre just channels John Buscema in his artwork, his interior artwork, and he does such an amazing job. I mean, I can't criticize it at all. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. I've got it in the floppies too, but I wanted to have it in the collected edition. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Just look at that. And for anybody who loves Conan or read Conan back in the 70s, 80s, this is going to be a trip right down memory lane. And the story is I can't fault the story at all. Very well done. On the other hand, I picked up the Savage Sword of Conan magazine, and I'll take it out of this so you don't get a glare. I mean, that cover by Joe Jusko is just amazing. I mean, beautiful. Joe Jusko's been a busy guy the last little while. He's been doing the Tarzan covers, and I think he'll be doing John Carter of Mars covers for ERB Incorporated. And he did this beautiful Conan cover for Titan Comics. I mean, it's just incredible. But unfortunately, this cover makes a promise that the interior could not keep, story-wise or art-wise. I mean, it's just unfortunate that their first issue out of the gate, they dropped the ball so badly. The artwork is muddy. The story is subpar, to put it mildly. There's Conan, but he's not the main character in this story. That woman right there is, it just did not read like a Conan story, and it wasn't very well done. And the artwork is just badly done, and and that's sad to say. But there's a backup feature in here. There's a nice Conan pin-up right there, so that's almost worth the money. That's who is that by? Is that by McNeil? I don't know, but that's pretty cool. And that's got a poem, and it's got a Conan short story by Jim Zub. And Jim Zub is the one who wrote this. So, that kind of helps matters by having a story from him. And there's also a Solomon Kane story in here, which by Patrick Zurcher, story and art, and that's not bad. That's not bad. But unfortunately, this is a Savage Sword of Conan magazine, not a Savage Sword of Solomon Kane, So the artwork in this is good. The story was good. So I can't complain about that. But I'm really debating whether they're going to keep picking the magazine up if they keep dropping the ball like that. I'll probably buy, a couple more. And if they just keep making that kind of mistake, or keep doing that and screwing it up, I probably won't get the magazine anymore. And that's saying a lot for me, because I own every issue of Savage Sword of Conan magazine, and most of the Conan the Barbarian comics. I've been collecting them for years. I'm a huge Conan fan. So, I was so excited to get that, and when I read that first story, it just was very, very disappointing. What else have I got to show you? I picked up The Hound of the Baskervilles the other day at a used bookstore, and that's going to add to my collection of this particular series with this artwork. So that was a nice find. It's got an introduction by Don Pendleton, who was the writer of the Executioner books. So that's kind of cool to add to the collection. I'm always on the lookout to complete, my certain paperback collections of Sherlock Holmes. So that was a nice find. And I ordered this off of Amazon. This one was on sale. I'd like to have a lot more of these. I have 3 of the. This is Stark House Press. And what they do is they reprint a lot of the old Fawcett Gold Medal, hard-boiled kind of stories, crime stories. They reprinted a lot of the stories from the old Manhunt magazine, which was a crime magazine and a kind of a detective story magazine. So I've got the first 3 of them on my shelf. I've got Redheads Die Quickly by Gil Brewer, and this one I picked up. It's got short stories by Lorenz Heller, and this is crime fiction of a very pulpy variety. And these are just really nice books, actually. Stark House Crime Classics, and they do a good job. Beautiful, nice trade paperback, and you can see a few more examples on the back there. And if you go on Amazon, you could pick a lot of these up for a reasonable price, and they're really, really good stories. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give you an update as to what's been going on. I know I haven't really been posting as much as I'd like, because, as I said, I was kind of feeling under the weather for 2 or 3 weeks. My wife had COVID. I don't think I probably did, even though I read as negative when I did my COVID test, but I felt it. You can still hear it in my voice a little bit, but I'm feeling a lot better. So I wanted to get that video up real quick and just connect with you guys and see how everyone's doing, and give you an update on what's been going on with me. So I'm going to post Gareth's link down below, and Criminale and Troy's as well, so you can learn a little bit more about the Garbology anthology that's coming out in August. So you guys, you take care, and I'll talk to you soon. You keep reading.